So the third question goes like this. A dietitian wishes to mix two types of foods in such a way that vitamin contents of the mixture contain at least 8 units of vitamin A and 10 units of vitamin C. Food I contains 2 units per kg of vitamin A and 1 unit per kg of vitamin C. Food 2 contains 1 unit per kg of vitamin A and 2 units per kg of vitamin C. If cost rupees 50 per kg to purchase food 1 and rupees 70 per kg to purchase food 2. Formulate this problem as linear programming problem to minimize the cost of such a mixture. Okay. Now, if you can look at this question, this is a problem where they have given what is the cost of food. Alright. So whenever we come across the keyword cost, what type of question is that? Is it a maximization or minimization problem? Hello? Whenever we come across the cost as a keyword, what should be the decision taken here? Is it maximization or minimization?
Minimization.
Minimization.
Yeah, so obviously it becomes a minimization problem. So let's write down the data now. So here they've given that there are basically two types of food. One is F1 and the second one is F2. I can take the two types of food as, okay, just 1 minute. Okay. So there are two types of food here. One is the food F1 and other is the food F2. Okay. They've given that each food N contains how much of vitamin A and how much of vitamin C. Okay. So now there are two types of vitamins here. One is vitamin A and other is vitamin C. These are the two types of vitamins we have here. Okay. If you look at the food 1, it contains 2 units of vitamin A and how much? 1 unit of vitamin C. Okay. Similarly, F2 contains 1 unit of vitamin A and 2 units of vitamin C. They're given that you should prepare the food such that the mixture contain at least 8 units of vitamin A. At least 8 units of vitamin A should be there and at least 10 units of vitamin C should be there. Okay. And finally, they've given what is the cost. The cost of 1 unit of food F1 will cost 50 rupees and the cost of 1 unit of food 2 cost 70 rupees. Now this is the overall data given in the question paper. Now with this we are supposed to formulate the linear programming problem. If you are able to write down this table, I think 90% problem is solved and the remaining is just putting the values in the format. Okay, is that clear everyone? Is it fine? All the data is captured now? Any data is missing from the question paper? Yes or no? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Hear you, sir.
Now let's start doing the formulation now. Since the cost is given in the problem, it is very clear that it's a minimization case problem. So first let us write down the decision variable. So the decision variable here is what quantity of food F1 and what quantity of food F2 you buy so that the overall cost of buying the food is minimum. Okay, whenever you have the keyword cost, without any hesitation, you can come to the conclusion that it is a minimization problem. So how can we write here? X1 is equal to number of units. Okay, number of units of food 1, food F1 ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ 1 ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬಹುದು, food F1 purchased. Since you are buying the food by paying the cost, we can say we can take it as purchased. Similarly, X2 is equals to number of units of food F2 purchased. So this becomes your decision variable. So once the decision variable is set, now we'll come to the second step, which is called as objective function. Okay, so what is objective function here? Obviously the objective of this problem is minimization case because the cost is given to you. So how do we write the minimization function now? So min z. Maximization is daga, we'll write it as max z. If it is minimization, we'll write it as min z. So min z is equals to, you can see that the cost of each F1 and F2 is clearly given to you. For F1 it is 50 rupees and for F2 it is 70 rupees. So I can write it as 50x1 plus 70x2. Now when I substitute the value of x1 and x2, I should be able to get the answer. Okay, so means that this 50x1 plus 70x2. So this is your second step, which is called as objective function. Now we'll come to the third step, which is called as constraints. Okay, can anybody please tell me how many constraints are there in this particular problem? Can anybody please tell me how many constraints are there? Hello? How many constraints we have in this question?
Two, sir.
Two constraints, very good. The two constraints in this problem is, the first constraint is about the vitamin A and the second constraint is vitamin C. But here, when you're writing the equation, you have to be very careful. They have very clearly mentioned that at least 8 units of vitamin A is required and at least 10 units of vitamin C is required. When we say at least 8 and 10, it is very obvious that it cannot be less than that. It should be either equal to that or more than that. See, in case if a food is giving you more vitamins, consuming more vitamin is not harmful. And therefore, it is expected that even if the food has more vitamin, it is okay, but it cannot be less than the recommended dose. So this is the minimum dose or minimum recommendation the agencies are giving. So in case if the food has less than this quantity of vitamin, then the food is not going to give any help, or it is not really going to serve the purpose. So how do I write the equations now? Let me take the constraint for the first value, which is vitamin A. So I can write it as 2x1 plus 1x2 should be greater than or equal to 8. Now for the first time, I am using the symbol greater than or equal to. Why have I used the greater than or equal to symbol here? Because I'm saying that this total vitamins shall be at least 8 units. At least, Andre, no, it should be either equal to or it should be greater than. It cannot be less than 8. In the similar lines, I have to write the second value also. For the second constraint, what it becomes now? 1x1 plus 2x2 is greater than or equal to 10. Now you can see both the constraints are written. And finally, the last step is non-negative restrictions. So now the last step is non-negative restrictions. So what is non-negative restrictions here? I think I've told you very clearly, it's a dummy step. We are just declaring that both the variables considered in the problem is positive. So the two variables are x1 is greater than or equal to 0 and x2 is greater than or equal to 0. So this completes the first step. And please remember, whenever you have a question on linear programming problem, at the end, you should always write the mathematical form. So how do I write the mathematical form? Very simple. Mathematical form means first always you should write the objective function. So min z equals to 50x1 plus 70x2. Okay. And then you should write the word subject to. So subject to, under this particular objective is satisfied subject to following conditions. Which are the following conditions? The two constraints, which is 2x1 plus 1x2 greater than or equal to 8. And the second condition is 1x1 plus 2x2 greater than or equal to 10. And finally, the non-negative restriction, that is x1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0. So this is called as the mathematical form. We are not doing anything extra. We are just rewriting the values without taking decision variable or without putting any headings, right? So now this particular equation can be further solved by using graphical method or simplex method, which will take up later. Okay, is it clear? Have you all understood this question? Any doubts? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Please reply hello.
No, sir.
No,
Yeah.
sir. No doubt.
So we'll take up the next question then. Okay. In the linear programming problems, most of the questions are stereotype, not much of difficulty. Only thing is the constraints can be given indirectly without giving directly. That is only where you need to do some calculations. Otherwise, mostly they're all very simple questions. Okay. Let's take question number 4 now. Reshma wishes to mix two types of food P and Q in such a way that the vitamin contents of the mixture contain at least 8 units of vitamin A and 11 units of vitamin B. Food P costs rupees 60 per kg and food Q costs rupees 80 per kg. Food P contains 3 units of vitamin A and 5 units of vitamin B, whereas food Q contains 4 units of vitamin A and 2 units of vitamin B. Determine the minimum cost of the mixture, formulate as LPP. I think this question is exactly same as the previous question. The only thing is, I think the value of the cost differs. Except that value changes, I think there is absolutely no difference with the question. Can you just try this problem by yourself? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you just try this question by yourself? Can I skip this question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because this is exactly same as the previous problem. Only thing is the data, I mean the numbers are different. So I think you can give a try. Please try question number 4. I think the same question. Okay, let me take the question number 5 now. Question number 5 goes like this. A manufacturer produces nuts and bolts. It takes 1 hour of work on machine A and 3 hours on machine B to produce a package of nuts. Similarly, it takes 3 hours on machine A and 1 hour on machine B to produce a package of bolt. He earns a profit of rupees 17.5 per package of nut and 7 rupees per package on bolt. How many packages of each should be produced each day so as to maximize his profit if he operates his machine for at most 12 hours a day? Okay, this is the question. Again, a very simple question. Let's try. Now, first thing is, which are the 2 types of products he manufactures? Obviously, the first type of product is nuts and the second type of product is bolts. These are the 2 types of products he manufactures. It is given that both nut and bolt are manufactured using 2 different types of machines. Correct? So which are the 2 different types of machines he is using? One is the machine A and other one is the machine B. So these are the 2 types of machines he is using. Okay. Each screw requires 2 machines. Okay, sorry. Yeah. What is it given? 1 hour of work on machine A and 3 hours on machine B. 1 hour of machine A and 3 hours on machine B is required for manufacturing a pack of nut. Similarly, for manufacturing bolt, it is given that 3 hours of time is required on machine A and 1 hour on machine B is required. Okay, and also they are given the profit values. So what are the profit values given to you? They are given that for nut he is getting a profit of 17 rupees 50 paise and for bolt he is getting 7 rupees. So this is the values of profits given to you. And finally, they have given that it can totally operate the machines for 12 hours, at most 12 hours. These adjectives are very, very important. At most 12 hours a day. Okay. This is what the total capacity of the machines he has. Now with this data, I am supposed to formulate the linear programming problem. Naturally, the first thing that you have to look at in any linear programming problem is what is the keyword. You should look for the keywords. I've told you time and again, in any linear programming problem, if profit values are given to you, then without any hesitation, you can come to the conclusion that it is a maximization problem. Since you can see the profit values are given to you, it is a maximization problem. Okay, yeah. Now once that is decided, then let's start with the 4 steps. So the first step, as you all know, we are supposed to find or write decision variable. Can anybody please tell me how many decision variables are there in this question? How many decision variables we have?
2, sir.
No?
2.
Variables we have?
2.
2. So which are the 2 decision variable? Obviously the first decision variable is nut and for second it is bolt. So I can write x1 is equals to number of packages. Please use the same words which is used in the question paper so that it becomes easy for you to write down. You can write it in any way you want, absolutely no problem, but better to read in the same words given in the question paper. Okay, so number of packages of nuts will be your first decision variable, and x2 is nothing but number of packages of bolts, because these are the 2 types of products which decides your profit values. Okay, second, obviously we'll come to objective function. Okay, objective function. So here you can see the objective function is the profits is obviously the maximization of profit is your objective. So we can write a max z is equals to 17.50x1 plus 7x2. So this is your objective function. Now we'll come to the third step, which is called as constraints. Okay, constraints. Okay, can anybody please tell me how do we write the constraints here? Can anybody please tell me the equation for constraints? Please look at the board and tell me how do we write the equation for the constraints here as far as this question is concerned. Yeah, can you please, can anybody please make an effort?
1x1 plus 3x2.
One equation.
Okay. Complete the sentence.
Lesser than or equal to 8, sir.
Less than or equal to
8.
8. Only the 8.
8. The maximum utmost hours on ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ also.
8 only, the 12 hours alwa idu.
Okay, 12, sir.
Okay, so they've given that, please understand here, machine A and machine B, they can independently work for 12 hours a day. This is one thing you have to remember very clearly. At most 12 hours, you can maximum work up to 12 hours, but beyond 12 hours, the machines are not available. So this 12 is common to both machine A as well as machine B. It is not combined. Adu individual artha ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Machine A separately works for 12 hours and machine B works separately for 12 hours. So for both machines, the maximum time that we can use is only 12 hours. So obviously, how do we write the equation now? 1x1 plus 3x2 is less than or equal to 12. Now I'm writing the constraints for machine A. So this is for machine A. And similarly, for machine B, it is 3x1 plus 1x2 is less than or equal to 12. So in both the cases, the machines cannot be working for more than 12 hours. So obviously it becomes 12. So this is the two constraints. And last step, that is non-negative restriction. As usual, we know. So the non-negative restrictions are x1 is greater than or equal to 0 and x2 is also greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So all 4 steps are written. And final step, you all remember, you should write the mathematical form. So I'm not writing it anyway. I hope you understand that. So mathematical form is, first you should write the objective function subject to and then followed by the two constraints, and finally the non-negative restrictions have to be written. Okay, is it clear, everyone? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Hello, can you answer? Is there a lag in my voice? I'm not able to get the responses immediately. Hello?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Is there a lag?
No,
No,
sir.
Then why nobody is replying? I'm just taking a lot of time. People are just not responding. I thought there must be some technical problem here. Nothing of that sort?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, now let's move on to the 6th question. I think from 6th question onwards, let's try to explain this, orally, and you probably can just try this problem at home. Okay, next whether you'll be able to solve this problem by yourself now, because I think we have done enough questions, so I think you should be able to do it. Yeah, please look at the question number 6. The question goes like this. A factory manufactures 2 types of screw, A and B, and each type of screw requires 2 types of machine. One is the automatic and second one is the hand operated. It takes 4 minutes on automatic and 6 minutes on the hand operated machine to manufacture a package of screw. While it takes 6 minutes on automatic and 3 minutes on hand operated machine to manufacture a packet of screw B. There are 2 types of screws here, screw A and screw B. Each machine is available for at most 4 hours on a day. Okay, the manufacturer can sell a pack of screw at profit of ₹7 and B at a profit of 10. Assuming that he can sell all the screw he manufactures, how many packages of each type should the factory owner produce in a day in order to maximize the profit? I think this question is exactly same as the previous question. Only thing is the data as far as screw A, screw B is concerned is different. So can you just try this problem by yourself? Can you solve this by yourself? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think you can try this problem because a simple question, same question. Okay. Now we'll move on to the 7th question now. Yeah. A cottage industry manufactures pedestal lamps and wooden shades each requiring the use of grinding or cutting machine and a sprayer. It takes 2 hours on grinding or cutting machine and 3 hours on sprayer to manufacture a pedestal lamp. It takes 1 hour of grinding on cutting machine and 2 hours on sprayer to manufacture a shade. On any day, the sprayer is available for at most 20 hours and the cutting machine is available for the most 12 hours. The profit from the sale of the lamp is ₹5 and from the shade is ₹3. Assuming that the manufacturer can sell the lamps and the shades that he produces, how should he schedule his daily production in order to maximize the profit? Again, a similar type of question. Only thing is they have used a different product here. Instead of nut and bolt, they're talking about, what is that? A pedestal lamp and the shade. Can you try this problem, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, similar question. See, that's what in linear programming problem, all the questions are almost stereotype. If you once understand the logic and if you're able to write down the table clearly, I think the rest is just very, very simple. Okay, you should be only cautious with specific to some adjectives used like at most, at least, maximum, minimum. These are words clear, because if you don't pay attention to those terms, then finally you end up making mistakes in writing the constraints. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a very simple question. Okay, so I think we'll finish the remaining 3 questions also. And from tomorrow, we can start with the second method, which is graphical method. Because once you are perfect with converting a given statement problem to equations, then the equations can be easily solved by graphical method. Okay, so I think we'll start the graphical method from tomorrow. We'll try to finish the remaining 3 now. Okay. Question number 8. Okay, let's quickly go through. A company manufactured 2 types of novelty soven made of plywood. Sovens of type A require 5 minutes each for cutting and 10 minutes each for assembling. Similarly, the souvenirs of type B require 8 minutes for each cutting and 8 minutes for assembling. There are 3 hours 20 minutes available for cutting and 4 hours for assembling. The profit is ₹5 on type A and ₹6 on type B. How many souvenirs of each type should the company manufacture in order to maximize the profit? Again, a simple question. Here they have given what is the total, they have given what is the 2 different types of processes that should go on type A and type B, that is cutting and assembling. They've given what is the total time available for cutting machine and total time available for sewing machine. And they've even given the profits as well. So obviously this question is a maximization case problem. So can you try this question as well? 8th question, everyone.
Yes,
or no?
sir.
Yeah, similar question. See, I think there is absolutely no difference. The only difference you can see in each question is the product, the numbers. Otherwise, the pattern almost remains same. Absolutely no changes. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next question, that is question number 9. Okay, it goes like this. There are 2 types of fertilizers, F1 and F2. F1 contains 10% nitrogen and 6% phosphoric acid. And F2 contains 5% nitrogen and 10% phosphoric acid. After testing the soil condition, a farmer finds that he needs at least 14 kg of nitrogen and 14 kg of phosphoric for her crop. If F1 costs ₹6 per kg and F2 costs ₹5 per kg, determine how much of each type of fertilizer should be used so that the nutrient requirements are met at a minimum cost, and formulate this LPP. Okay. Now you can see that the key word in this particular problem is cost. So cost kottidare. The cost for fertilizer F1 and F2 is given to you. So obviously, what type of question is this? Can you please tell me what type of question is this? Is it maximization or minimization?
Minimization.
So it's a minimization problem. Okay, and they have very clearly given that at least, he needs at least 14 kg of nitrogen and 14 kg of phosphoric. Avaga now equation baribekadre, should we use the symbol less than or equal to or greater than or equal to? Which symbol to be used when you're writing the constraint equation? Hello?
Greater than or equal to.
Sorry?
Greater than or equal to.
Less than or?
Greater than or equal to.
Yeah, because they've used the symbol at least. At least, it should be at least 14 kg. it can be equal to 14 kg or it should be more than 14 kg, but it cannot be less than 14 kg. Okay, this is the factors which should be very clear. Yake idina nan stress ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ because if you write wrongly the constraint equations ಅಂದ್ರೆ less than kade greater ಅಥವಾ greater kade lesser ಬರೆದ್ರೆ your entire graphical method will completely go wrong. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು time again telling you, if you want to solve any linear programming problem by graphical method or any other method, this conversion to equations are extremely important. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಇರಬಾರದು.